So what's up to all the good peoples listening right now? You feel me? This all-biz tapping in. And I just want to share a story with y'all about how I became a boxing trainer. It all happened in 2004. And my son was being bullied. He was coming home with bruises on his face. And I had been telling him to, you got to protect yourself, man. You got to fight back or it's not going to stop. So this one particular day, he came home. He had knots on his forehead, bruises around his cheek. And I was getting on to him. Like, didn't I tell you to fight? And he said, Dad, I don't know how. And at that moment, I stopped and realized, okay, well, then I got to teach him how. This was on a Thursday. So I waited till that Monday. And I took his behind to the boxing gym and started training him. In the process of training Willie, well, that's my son's name, Willie. He wasn't experienced, obviously, and there was other kids in the gym. And at this time, the only kid that was around his weight was a girl. And the funny part about it was she was experienced, and she was whooping on him. But I understood as a parent and as a trainer, well, I wasn't a trainer then. I understood as a parent and as a man that you learn from losing. You really do. But my daughters didn't like that too much because they would come to the gym with us and just watch. They didn't like that too much. I had an older daughter than him and a younger daughter than him. And they're all around the same age. They're stair steps. Me and my ex-wife, we had stair steps, kept them around the same age. So that got them involved because they wanted some revenge, quote unquote, against the girl that was beating up on their brother in the boxing ring. So I started showing them too. And the result of that was other people in the gym, grown-ups, coming to me and asking me could I teach them a particular move or a certain step or a certain punch or a certain angle. And that's just how it started. Like I said, and I never thought that I was going to be a boxing trainer at all. That wasn't on my mind my entire life up until that point. Like I said, 2004, I was born in 72, so do the math yourself. Never thought I was going to be a boxing coach. Never on my wildest dreams that would happen. But because of that, the gym owner took notice and he came to me and asked me, would you mind teaching the amateur program? Which I decided to do because I understood in myself that I loved teaching at that point. And so I took over the amateur program in St. Petersburg, Florida, 4th Street Boxing Gym. Shout out to them. It's defunct right now. There's no such thing as a 4th Street Boxing Gym at this time and place. But the owner of the gym was named Jim McLaughlin. Shout out to him. He's in the Florida Hall of Fame for boxing. He gave me the opportunity and avenue to teach a lot of people, youth and adults. And I ran with it. And we started going to
send professional invoices and get paid faster.
We started going to Sunshine State games, which I took 11 fighters to the Sunshine State games, and I want to say 2005. Out of those 11 fighters, we brought back 8 golds and 1 silver. Y'all can look it up. It's no fake. Sunshine State games in Florida. 8 golds, 1 silver, and 2 people didn't fight. And so that obviously gave me momentum and the confidence to say, hey, you must be doing the right thing. And then we go to PAL Nationals. I had 2 silvers in pals. It is what it is. When you go to pals, you start facing kids, and when you enter certain tournaments and boxing tournaments, you could be faced with anybody. So the burner amateur fights, typically they match you up with fighters who have the same amount of fights as your fighters. When you enter a tournament, however, you can be matched up with anybody. And so that's just what it is. So that happened. I eventually had a fighter make 2 fighters make nationals. One was an adult, he lost. One was a youth, he lost. But they made the finals. It's what it is. But then I eventually became a professional trainer, and things ended up very well for us. As I stated before, end up on TV a couple times. End up on PBS, Showtime, HBO at a high level. So I've been around the boxing gym. And I love teaching. I love boxing. That's what I do. That's what I teach, and that's what I know. But that was just a little. That was just a little history on how all-biz became a boxing trainer. Peace, y'all.